What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to basketball. Today, we're talking about NBA rookies, specifically the all-rookie first and second team. I figure now is an okay time to start talking about this stuff. It's currently the preseason. It's Saturday the 5th when I'm recording this, so there's only been a couple actual NBA games that have been played so far, at least like in the preseason, so I don't know, like rotations and everything. I'm gonna try to keep it pretty unbiased that way. It's a true start of the season prediction, so today, I'll give you guys my first and second team all-rookie predictions. But hey, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment. I've responded to every single comment on my YouTube channel up to this point, and I intend to keep on doing so. All right, let's get into it. You guys know what I had to do. I had to go make a little spreadsheet. I wasn't really sure how else to like display this. I could have gone to like Tier Maker or something like that, but I figured this was a better way to do it. I don't know. I figured it was a little bit more organized, and I'll try to fit in some other video things, like put on a couple highlights and test what YouTube will and won't shut down for the season. So I get to test pilot a couple things in this. But anyway, NBA all rookie teams. Here's kind of how I'm looking at this, right? You know, I started looking at like, okay, like who got drafted this year and everything, right? Like was looking at the draft and I'm like, okay, let me make my list and everything. And by the way, this is going to go in sequential. This is going to go in a very specific order as to how I think they're going to perform throughout the year. But I was looking through and I'm like, man, I can't even tell you any of these motherfuckers gonna start this year, man. Like, it's a rougher rookie class, right? I mean, somebody's always gonna surprise us, right? But at least from, like, the start of the year, it's kind of hard to tell, like, who's really gonna be it. Like, I had a hard time just picking my rookie of the year in this one, which we'll see. They'll fall into this spot here. We're gonna go at it from this order here, from right to left all the way up to the top here, with this person being my rookie of the year prediction. But I was like, man, I don't really know who I should pick because, you know, you even start off at the top with Reece Shea. I'm not sure he's going to even start. Like, you go to Alex Sarr, presumably he's going to start. I mean, really only two guys I figured might start this season, and it's maybe like 1.5. And so it's kind of a tough one to predict this season, but we're going off things like, hey, who's going to have like opportunity to actually play? Who's going to be in a system that can develop them and stuff and put them in a spot to succeed? This in no means indicates that I think these guys are going to be bad if they're not on the list, or good if they are, right? I just think in terms of all rookie teams, this is my prediction. So you know what, without further ado, let's get the first name on there. We've got Tristan da Silva. So this is technically my 10th guy, right? And then the next guy will be 9, 8. You guys can count. You guys understand it. So da Silva was the last guy that I picked to be on the all rookie team. Here's my thing with Tristan da Silva. I'm not sure, like, to start out the season, he's even going to be a rotation player. I think he's going to have to fight to get his spot in the rotation and everything. I mean, when we did, like, our season preview series of the Magic and everything, we were kind of looking at, like, okay, like, Black, Howard, and da Silva are kind of like those last guys that are going to try to make up, like, the 9th and 10th spot in the rotation. And so who's really going to get it? There's people at the position of da Silva already, but I don't know. I feel like he's going to find his way onto the court just because of shooting, if nothing else. I mean, we all know the Magic desperately needed shooting, and he is a smart basketball player. He doesn't make many mistakes. He's a little bit older, so I'd like to think that da Silva will be able to find his way just because of that. Next guy on the list, the 9th guy, if you will, I got Kel'el Ware from the Miami Heat. All right. Here's my thing, right? The Miami Heat, they always pick someone and they always play well, right? That's kind of a safe bet. Ware most likely won't start. I mean, if Bam goes down, he'll get spot starting opportunities, which is good. That'll help his case. But I just think he's going to be positioned the best out of like a lot of these other big men to actually be like a solid contributor right away. He's got a really smart team around him. He's got good coaches, right? He's going to be in a system that makes sense. It's also going to let him be pretty dynamic. I mean, we see how much they use Bam and let him have the basketball. So they're going to put him in spots where he can go succeed, right? And the Heat have just been looking for a player like this for a long time. I mean, the defense is there, right? We've seen like a lot of those ability to go and be athletic, go block shots. He's been able to step out and hit shots. He's solid around the rim. He still has like a way to go in terms of like learning the game. We saw that in his first year in college versus his second year, but I think the Heat is a perfect place for him to start growing, and I think he's going to be given an opportunity to contribute early on. Next name here, number 8. I've got Alex Sarr, aka the second pick in this year's draft. So we did a video that you guys saw over the weekend where we were looking at like starting lineups and stuff like that and power ranking them, and like they had Jonas and Sarr starting next to each other, which, man, I really don't hope that happens, but here's my thing, right? I mean, when I first did my pass through of like the draft, I was like, I'm not actually sure if Sarr's going to make like an all rookie team, but then I was like, okay, he's probably the most likely guy in this entire draft to be able to start right away, just because, you know, the Wizards are a pretty rough team at this point. And like he's gonna have his defensive highlights and everything. He's really athletic. He's gonna get up and down the court and probably have some highlights and stuff like that. But the team feels like such a mess to where I feel like it's going to be hard for him to really get going. I mean, we all know like Alex Sarr's weakness is he's not necessarily like a creator. Like he doesn't really create for himself. He's mostly like a defensive and bouncy center, right? That we hope can develop more of an offensive game because he has a high level of coordination already, and like the shot form looks pretty interesting. But like his actual creation skills aren't that great yet. Defense is going to be his thing though. He looks really good defensively already. So I don't know. I worry that nobody's going to set him up, and his actual counting stats offensively are going to be pretty poor, but I think some of us are going to watch him on defense and be like, okay, yeah, this guy's contributing at a high level at this end of the court already. Like, that might be enough to get you an all-rookie second-team spot or something like that. But, again, he might be the most obvious starter out of all the rookies this year, which is kind of unfortunate that we can't find more spots for these guys. But, you know, that's the class, most likely, right? That's the class. All right, who did I pick as number 7? We got Rob Dillingham. Now, I know we already watched one preseason game. I think it'll be one preseason game by the time this comes out too. Rob Dillingham had a really nice first preseason game and everything. Here's my thing. Dillingham has a clear role on his team going into this season with the Timberwolves. He's going to be the backup point guard. He's going to be one of those guys off the bench that's going to come in. They're going to be like, hey, go get your buckets, right? Like, that's your role. Go get your buckets. And that's what he does, right? I mean, we all had trouble figuring out, like, hey, where's this guy really going to fit in? Like, the defensive liability side of him is kind of a big question, right? But, like, he can get going. Like, he has his hot and cold moments like any young point guard does, right? But then the Timberwolves came and drafted him. It made perfect sense. He's going to fit in. Like, he's got some shooters around him now, which is nice. He's got some guys that are going to run with him, which are nice, right? And again, his role is going to be handle the ball, go create offense, go get your buckets. And like, I just think he's going to have a couple times this season where he's going to go for 20 or 30 points or something like that off the bench because he has that capability. Now he's probably going to have some real low moments as well, but he's a young point guard. It's totally fine. So I just think between the real off and on like scoring bursts that I'm pretty confident he's gonna have this year, like that's gonna be able to get him on like an all rookie team. Like, and is he gonna start much? Probably not, right? I mean, obviously Conley's gonna go first, and then if like Conley or something goes down, they're probably just gonna move DiVincenzo into the first 5, and then maybe you'd go to Dillingham or something after that. But maybe they just move Nickeil Alexander-Walker in and like start Ant at the 1 because they're trying to make him more of a ball handler. So I don't really think he's gonna get like crazy minutes ever, but in just like the small offensive bursts, I think he's going to be really, really good. All right, last member of our all-rookie second team. We got Dalton Knecht for the Lakers. Again, saw one game of his already, and JJ Redick he's already drawn up all the plays that you could have imagined that he was going to drop. And like, I will say the Lakers just looked like really off with all their timing for all their plays, so you can tell they're not used to running like a system like this, but it's whatever. Like, they're running a lot of split action, a lot of handoff type things, and so that's very favorable for a player like Dalton Knecht, who's basically going to be able to get handoffs to a one dribble pull up, which he's very effective at doing. And so we're excited to see what he can do this year. The sneaky athleticism that he brings is awesome. He seems pretty fearless out there. Like, he's bulked up and looks like he was already a pretty solid build. Like, he's going to be able to really stay on the court and maintain himself with the new physical style of play that he's going to face in the NBA. So I don't know. I think between the spacing and just the maturity that he brings, he's going to get rotation minutes, right? Because it's not a super deep team. I think Knecht is really going to have a chance to shine this season. All right, we're moving on to the all-rookie first team. All right, and now I already know there's going to be controversies. There's going to be controversies because people are left off the list. Some people are on the list, right? So just relax, okay? Like, watch to the end of the video, and when you get to the end of the video, be respectful. If I see someone, this list is trash or anything, instant hit it. You don't even get a warning this time because I know you didn't watch the video then. And that's how we're being this season. That's how we're being. But all right, first player, we got Matas Buzelis from my Chicago Bulls. The Bulls get a dub with an all-rookie first team. I hope this happens. I really do. So I've shared my concerns about Buzelis. I'm worried about like his ability to actually create his own shot because I think his handle is pretty weak, and I worry about the outside shooting a lot. Like, it's not a very cohesive like shooting form to me and everything, but I will say the dude's got like a hell of an attitude for playing basketball, and that's a good thing, right? Like, he attacks, he's aggressive, and that's great. Again, worry about the ball handling a little bit. I think he's going to make defensive plays because he is a good athlete and he's got some good size. I worry about him filling into the frame a little bit more, but The Bulls just need guys at this position, so I think they're really going to throw him out on the court and like really see what he can do this season. So I think he's going to get a lot of opportunity, and between that and just like the attitude that he plays with, like I think there's going to be opportunities for him to go really have some big games. How much is he going to start? Like I don't know. It depends on like if LaVine gets moved or something, because if LaVine gets moved, I could see him being shifted into the first five, just because right now they're already doing a lineup of like Giddey, Kobe, and LaVine, right, which is a weird lineup to start with. Then you got Pat and Vucevic, but I don't know. I think he's going to get opportunity to get starts throughout the season and spot moments, right? And I think he's going to be more aggressive than some of the other forwards on the team. So I don't know. I think he'll get a chance to shine, and I think he'll have some big games and some big moments. Next player, number 4 on the list, we got Carlton Bub Carrington from the Washington Wizards. I'll say, like, I was pretty impressed with like his summer league performance and everything. And I'll always say summer league is no correlation. I'm trying to teach you guys this as well. There's no correlation to summer league performance and NBA play. It's just completely different, and it's not hard to realize that those two styles of play and the situation in it are just completely different, right? I'm really impressed with like his improved like court vision that I've even seen from college, because like there was times in college where like he looked like he really saw what was going on, and then sometimes he just missed the most obvious plays, and that's just young point guard things at the end of the day. But I think he's going to get a really good opportunity to play early on. Like they're going to have Brogdon on the court, but they can also have Brogdon play the 2 with Carrington at the time, so he has the ability to play with like all the other guards on the team, including like a Jordan Poole or something like that. So I think that's going to give him an advantageous point to go really get some minutes, which is valuable. I'm hoping that the 3-point shot will come around. He wasn't like a crazy 3-point shooter in college. He really liked those dribble pull up in the mid-range or something, but he plays with good pace, and I like to think that if a young point guard can play with good pace and just navigate pick and rolls well enough, because you are going to have Sarr and Valanciunas setting screens for you, stuff like that. If you can get a good first step, which he does, he has a really quick first step, you can get kind of to that free throw line and just get some floaters up and things like that. That's a solid rookie season for me, so I think he's going to have a chance to really go out there and compete. I do worry that he doesn't have a great team around him, and that makes it really hard for young point guards to contribute, but I like Carrington. I think he's going to have an okay rookie season. All right, y'all. Number 3. We're getting down to it. I got Terrence Shannon Jr. You guys know how much I love Terrence Shannon Jr. and like his style of play. We've all talked about the legal stuff that happened off the court, which apparently he's now suing them for being like, yo, I was not even there. Like, what are y'all talking about? So that's a whole thing, and I guess we feel bad for him in that sense. But Terrence Shannon Jr. probably was a top 5 player in this draft before all of that obviously fell to the Timberwolves, and man, this dude can do it all. Like, I've talked about counter moves before, how I see rookies come in all the time and they have like 1 to 2. This guy, I've counted like 7 to 8 already. So like his ability to create shots is amazing. He can hit shots from anywhere. He's going to be one of the best transition players we have in basketball, with his athletic ability, his speed, his creativeness. Like, he can pass a little bit. He's a good defender. I really like this guy. Some of his minutes are going to go away now that DiVincenzo's out there, but I mean, they're going to need people at the wing or something like that. And look, I do think Terrence Shannon has an opportunity long-term to be like a starter on the Timberwolves, so where we go with that, I don't know, but I think he's really going to find his way on the court, and he's going to have some crazy highlights during the season, and that's obviously going to help boost his stock and everything and get him onto one of the all-rookie teams. So give me Terrence Shannon Jr. as one of them. Ooh, I know y'all are already getting nervous. Here, I already know why you guys are getting nervous, because there's 2 spots left, and I know there's 3 names at least in all of y'all's heads. At least 3 names. Some of you other guys maybe more, but I know that there's at least 3 names in your guys' heads. So you're like, oh my goodness, who'd he leave off the list? Like, who's his rookie of the year? Like, why these 2 and not the other guy? We're gonna talk about it. All right, here we go. Number 2, I got Zach Edey. Here. So you guys know I'm not the biggest like Zach Edey believer in the sense that he's going to be like a great NBA starter. I do think he's going to be a contributing NBA basketball player, but here's the thing. Injuries are already starting to plague the Grizzlies. Like, they already don't have Vince and Gigi to start the season, so I would assume they're going to have to start Zach Edey then, right? I truly think they were probably going to start Gigi Jackson and Jaren Jackson Jr., and I have a little bit of insight to tell me that was going to be the case, but now I'm going to guess that Edey's going to be the starter, so that alone is going to help you, because a lot of these other guys outside of maybe Sarr, just not going to start, right? There's just not really an opportunity to do so he's going to get the time and he's going to get the minutes. You know he's going to block shots. You know he's going to grab rebounds. rebounds, right? Nobody's questioning that in the NBA. I think his offensive game is going to be what we have to really watch. How is he going to be in certain pick and roll coverages, right? All things like that I think are going to be bigger questions. Is he going to be able to move his feet enough when teams start putting him in these off-ball actions that he kind of has to guard, because they're gonna. That's just what NBA does with these big dudes like this that are pressing. They're just going to make them run around screens and stuff like that, not necessarily out to the perimeter, but they're going to set little down screens on the baseline and stuff and really make them work for that stuff. So how does he handle it throughout the long point of the season? I don't know, but I think he's going to get the opportunity to play a ton early on, and that's going to be a big enough reason to put him on one of the all-rookie teams, but not enough for Rookie of the Year. So who is it? Who do I have as Rookie of the Year? Well, I have to imagine you guys have somewhat of a guess at this point, but all right, I'm doing it. I'm going with Reese Shea, the first overall pick. I think that he's going to be Rookie of the Year. Now, again, he's not even guaranteed to start on this team. Like, I saw something saying like, oh yeah, they'd bench DeAndre Hunter for him or something like that, which seems... I personally wouldn't do that as a coach. I'd make him earn it. That's just how I would do it, unless he's just absolutely cooking dudes in practice right now, then great. But I think Reese Shea has a chance to be really a do-it-all type of player. I think he's got a good enough handle. I think he's athletic enough. I think he's smart enough for sure. I love the shooting form and the shooting ability. Like, he's shown that he can create some of his own buckets and stuff like that. But here's the biggest thing. Like, he's got like a true NBA team around him already, much kind of like Zach Edey in a way, which is going to give them like an inherent advantage over everyone else. He's already got Trae Young on his team. He's already got Bogey on his team, right? He's got Jalen Johnson. He's got good centers around him, right? Like, it's a quality basketball team that's just struggled defensively over the past couple seasons, but he has competent basketball players all around him, and he's a smart basketball player, so I think he's going to fit in. I think he's going to get a chance to shine. Again, do they move DeAndre Hunter or something like that? I think that'll be a big thing to kind of look at, and I'd like to think that they maybe would, especially if they're seeing something in him in practice, because people would take DeAndre Hunter, man. He's a valuable player to have, so I don't know. That's what I got, and I already know. Reed Sheppard's not on the list. He's not on the list. I know. I think it's going to be hard for him to crack the rotation. I mean, we can take a look at the rotation. I think it's going to be hard for him to find minutes early on. I mean, if people go down or something like that, I could totally see Reed Sheppard like coming in and like lighting it up from three or something like that, and then maybe he finds a way to stick on a little bit more. Maybe they move another guard off the team or something like that. But man, he's got a lot of guys he's got to play in front of right now. I mean, I think it's hard. If you guys are curious, go look at like the Rockets depth chart or something like that. But this is what I got. So a quick recap. All rookie first team: Reese Shea, Zach Edey, Terrence Shannon, Bub Carrington, Boo Zealous. All second team, we got Connect, we got Dillingham, Alex Sarr, Khalil Ware, and Tristan Da Silva. That's what I got. I don't know. Quicker video for you guys this Monday and everything. Obviously, we're getting ready to roll out for the start of the season. If you guys have video ideas or things you want to see, let me know. I have been getting a lot of suggestions recently, so thank you all very much. And hey, make sure you guys go jump on the Discord. We're talking hoops every single day. The conversations are good, and people are actually diving into it pretty in depth. So thank you guys for trying to be educational to everyone else. But hey, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks so much. Enjoy the preseason. Bye.